My wife texted, "I'm divorcing you next week." I calmly responded, "I filed first." Then I confirmed our prenup was ironclad and invested everything myself. 48 hours after her lawyer engaged, he was panicking on the phone. 38 male was staring at a quarterly budget projection on my monitor, one of those soul-sucking spreadsheets, when my phone buzzed. It was Amanda, my wife of 7 years. "Amanda. Hey, just a heads up, I'm divorcing you next week. My lawyer will be in touch." Just like that. A casual bomb. For a second, the numbers on the screen blurred. System reboot. I've always been a planner. It's how I run my small software business. It's how I entered my marriage. Amanda? More, let the universe decide, or so I thought. My suspicions had been growing for months. The late nights at work, the guarded phone, the weekend trips finding herself. Last week, after noticing some significant and unexplained withdrawals from an old joint account I thought was dormant, small amounts but a pattern, I'd had enough. On Friday, I'd consulted Ms. Donna, my lawyer. We'd reviewed the prenup, the one she initially insisted on to protect her, then larger assets. It was, as Ms. Donna confirmed, ironclad regarding separate property, including my business, which I started pre-marriage. That same Friday, I'd initiated the transfer to liquidate a substantial chunk of my premarital assets and some individual stocks, moving them into a new fund under my sole name. Ms. Donna had divorce papers drafted, ready to go if needed. I'd hoped, foolishly perhaps, for a conversation, a reckoning, not this. Her text was the lit match. Before replying to her, I called Ms. Donna. She just made her move. "File the papers. Now, expedite whatever you can." "Consider it done, Brian," Ms. Donna said, her voice crisp. Then I typed my reply to Amanda. "No need for him to reach out. My lawyer is filing as we speak. Papers should be served to your office by tomorrow at the latest." "What? You filed?" "WTF, Brian? You can't divorce me. Consider it in progress. The prenup is ironclad, by the way. Hope you kept your copy safe. Miss Donna has mine, and it's been thoroughly vetted." Then, the petty part that felt so good. My investment broker emailed the confirmation. "Trade executions, personal portfolio update, forwarded. Subject FYI, it showed the successful reinvestment of my separate assets, all perfectly legal under our prenup." Amanda didn't respond. Screenshot, cloud backup, emailed to Ms. Donna, deep breath. The shock was secondary to a cold, clear focus. Our prenup was her idea. "Just to keep things clean, sweetie." My business boomed. Her trust fund not so much, thanks to a taste for Chanel and spa weekends. Miss Donna had been almost gleeful during our consultation. "This is clean, Brian. If she makes a hostile move, it only strengthens our adherence to the letter of this agreement." Amanda's text was that hostile move. The rest of the afternoon, calls with Miss Donna, securing digital access to solely owned accounts, changing passwords. Every financial T crossed. A brief pang, her laughing on our honeymoon, vanished, replaced by that cold text. She wanted a divorce next week. She was about to find out it was happening today, on terms she clearly hadn't anticipated. Update. Woke up Wednesday feeling calm. String of missed calls from Amanda. Angry voicemails. "How dare you? That money is ours." Nope. Around midday Wednesday, the official salvo. Email from a Mr. Timothy Vance, let's give him a last name for consistency with the original, SCCing Amanda, using her maiden name, Davenport. We can assume her maiden name is Davenport. Pompous, aggressive. "Mr. Anderson, he couldn't even get my name right. It's Brian. Or soon to be, just Brian again. My actual last name is Anderson. It has come to our attention that you have initiated divorce proceedings in a frankly underhanded and malicious manner. Your attempts to hide marital assets through last-minute investment schemes will not stand up. My client was under duress when signing the prenuptial agreement. Its validity will be vigorously contested. We expect full disclosure, substantial spousal support, and 50% of your business interests by end of day tomorrow. Failure to comply will result in immediate court action to freeze all known assets." Almost laughed. "Underhanded?" says the sender of the breakup text. "Hide marital assets? Reinvested my separate property as per the prenup she wanted. Trades initiated before her text. Duress? Separate counsel, weeks to review. She was thrilled to sign it then. 50% of my business? Explicitly separate in the prenup. Spousal support? Waived in the prenup. Forwarded to Miss Donna. Thought you'd enjoy this, he's bold." Miss Donna called. "Pure legal comedy. Let me handle Mr. Timothy Vance. He's about to receive an education." Thursday morning, Amanda showed up at the house. I was on a video call. Saw her pull up, muted. Guys 5, uninvited guest. She used her old key. I cursed myself. In the whirlwind of the last 36 hours, changing the locks hadn't hit the top of the immediate to-do list, though it was on there. Miss Donna had focused on asset protection first. Brian, we need to talk. She stormed into my home office. Amanda, I'm working. This is no longer your house to just walk into. Miss Donna will contact your lawyer about retrieving your personal belongings. Supervised. My lawyer says you're trying to screw me. That prenup won't hold. Does he now? Even voice. Miss Donna finds it robust. The one you insisted on? Protecting my business, my premarital assets, like it was meant to protect your trust fund? Face tightened. That money I spent was on us. The Chanel bag for $5,000 for us. The solo spa weekends, the emergency fund in your name I wasn't supposed to know about. My financials are an open book per the prenup. Hope yours are too. She paled. You can't prove any of that. Don't need to. Prenup is clear. Separate property is separate. My investments from my separate property are mine. You get your personal items, your car, paid off by me, you're welcome, and half the joint savings, about $3,900. Jaw dropped. $3,900? Are you insane? I need support. I gave you the best years of my life. Prenup waives spousal support, Amanda. We both had lawyers. You weren't under duress. Lean back. You texted your divorce plans. You made your choice. You just didn't anticipate I'd already made mine in response. Tears. Real or frustration? You're being cruel, Brian. Am I? Or just adhering to our agreement? You set the tone, Amanda. She fled, slamming the door. Silence. That pang again. Brief. Then the memory of her text. The entitlement. Calm restored. Ms. Donna emailed her response to Mr. Timothy Vance. A masterpiece of polite legal evisceration, citing clauses, attaching Amanda's signed acknowledgement of independent counsel. Mr. Timothy Vance shot back a shorter, still blustery email late Thursday, doubling down on the duress and now claiming the prenup was unconscionable due to the current disparity in our assets, conveniently ignoring her higher net worth at signing. Ms. Donna fired off another reply, even more pointed, by end of day. The ball was once again in their rapidly shrinking court. Update Friday morning. The last 48 hours since Mr. Timothy Vance's first email had been telling. Amanda's entitlement, fueled by her lawyer's initial bluster, was hitting brick walls. The credit card company had called Thursday. Amanda tried to report her card, old joint account frozen, stolen by my vindictive husband, attempting large purchases. Declined. Fraud rep was understanding. My bank also called. She'd tried to withdraw the entire $700-800 from joint savings. Teller flagged it, Ms. Donna fast. Amanda caused a scene, shouted about her money. Mr. Timothy Vance's latest angle, hinted at in his Thursday bluster and probably based on Amanda's desperate lies, was that my investments were with joint marital funds. Ms. Donna's response to that had been swift. Please see Schedule A of the signed prenuptial agreement detailing Mr. Anderson's premarital assets and Schedule B detailing Ms. Davenport's. The source of the recently invested funds aligns with Schedule A. We have all brokerage statements. Perhaps your client is confused. That confused line was pure Miss Donna. This morning, Friday, I was having coffee. Phone rang. Unknown number. Voicemail. Then a text from Miss Donna. Mr. Timothy Vance's office. He's trying to reach you directly. Do not engage. He just called me. Voice several octaves higher than usual. I think the coffee and a careful read of our attachments have finally sunk in. A grim smile. Hyperventilating, was he? This was roughly 48 hours since his initial engagement on Wednesday. Perfect. Called Miss Donna after 10 minutes. So, I said, Reginald's enlightenment? Oops, old habit meant Timothy's enlightenment. So, I corrected, Timothy's enlightenment? Miss Donna chuckled. Brian, it seems Mr. Timothy Vance, or a competent paralegal, finally digested the prenup alongside the statements we sent. His words, Miss Donna, there appears to have been a significant misunderstanding on our client's representations of the asset delineation. He sounded like he'd swallowed his wig. She continued, Amanda apparently forgot to tell him the extent of what she signed away, or that the brokerage account for your big investment was yours pre-marriage, with all growth explicitly remaining separate property. He tried to pivot to unconscionable. I reminded him her net worth was higher at signing, with her own counsel. He deflated. Miss Donna delivered the gem. He then asked meekly if you'd be willing to renegotiate spousal support out of goodwill, because Amanda is facing unexpected financial hardship and has certain lifestyle expectations. Laughed out loud. Lifestyle expectations? After her text, did you remind him? Oh, I did. Suggested her hardship is a direct consequence of her actions and misunderstanding a binding document she enthusiastically signed. Goodwill evaporated with her text and subsequent baseless accusations. His response? Mumbled about discussing options with his client. Hung up. He's panicking, Brian. Amanda has no leverage, zero. She overplayed, and now she's staring at the prenup's terms. Her clothes, her car, $3,900. My new investment fund? Up 3.5% in its first week. A nice quiet affirmation. 3.5% Amanda would never see. Not about the money, the principle, the entitlement, the assumption she could detonate our marriage via text and walk with half despite our agreement. Phone rang again. Mr. Timothy Vance's office. Let it ring. Let them both stew. Her lawyer wasn't just panicking, he was defeated. Amanda was learning about consequences. Update. It's been a month since the infamous text. The dust is settling, mostly into a fine layer of, oh God, what have I done, on Amanda's side, from what Miss Donna tells me. Mr. Timothy Vance, after his initial panic, tried a few more desperate, pathetic ploys. There was a letter suggesting emotional distress caused by my precipitous and unfeeling divorce filing, conveniently ignoring Amanda's text that started it all. Ms. Donna shut that down by pointing out that planning for a divorce when one suspects infidelity and financial subterfuge isn't unfeeling, it's prudent. He even floated the idea that perhaps I'd be willing to offer a modest settlement to avoid unpleasantness in court. My response via Ms. Donna was, the prenup is the settlement. There will be no further negotiation. Amanda apparently didn't take this well. I got a few tearful, then angry, then pleading voicemails. Brian, please, we can work this out. I made a mistake. Followed by, you're a monster. You're trying to leave me with nothing. And then, okay, I get it, the prenup, but surely you can give me something more, for old time's sake? I don't know how I'm going to live. Old time's sake apparently didn't extend to not planning to ambush divorce me. And nothing was an exaggeration. She got her car, a late model SUV, fully paid off. She got her personal belongings, which, to be fair, included a truly staggering amount of designer clothes, bags, and shoes. And she got her $3,900 from the joint account. The real kicker for her, I think, was the business. She genuinely believed, despite the prenup explicitly stating it was my separate property, that she was entitled to a huge chunk of it because she was my wife and supported me emotionally. Support which had been noticeably absent for the better part of a year, replaced by thinly veiled contempt and those mysterious weekend trips. Her lawyer finally officially capitulated last week. They signed off on the divorce agreement, which was, surprise, surprise, exactly what the prenup stipulated. No spousal support, no claim on my business, no claim on my investments or premarital assets. I heard through the grapevine, a mutual acquaintance who is now firmly a my acquaintance, that Amanda had to move in with her sister. Her independent woman fund she'd been siphoning money into apparently wasn't as substantial as she'd hoped, or perhaps it was already earmarked for whatever future she'd been planning without me. The trust fund from her grandparents? Turns out there were strings attached, and her access to it was more limited than she let on, especially after her parents got wind of the circumstances of the divorce. They were old-fashioned, big on commitment and consequences. They weren't thrilled with her behavior. She apparently had a bit of a meltdown when she realized her lifestyle expectations were about to take a nosedive. No more weekly salon blowouts, no more $1,000 shopping sprees, no more leisurely lunches at trendy spots she couldn't actually afford on her own salary, which without my income supplementing things was stretched pretty thin. There was one last, sad little attempt at manipulation. She texted me a few days ago. Amanda, I'm really struggling, Brian. I might lose my apartment. I don't know what to do. I didn't reply. It sounds harsh, I know. And there's a small, stupid part of me that feels a flicker of something like pity. But then I remember the coldness of her divorce text, the arrogance of her lawyer, the attempts to portray me as the villain, the one hiding assets, the one being unfair. She made her bed, a very expensive, poorly planned bed. As for me, life is quieter, calmer. My business is thriving. That investment I made just before D-Day, divorce day, has continued to perform well. It's a nice little FU cherry on top, I suppose, though the real victory is the peace of mind. I changed the locks, finally. I'm slowly reclaiming the house as my space. It's amazing how much mental energy a toxic relationship consumes. Energy I now have for my work, for catching up with friends I'd neglected, for just breathing. There's a strange sort of lightness. The betrayal cut deep, deeper than I let on, even to myself at first. You don't spend 7 years with someone and not feel the amputation. But the way she handled it, that casual cruelty, it cauterized the wound faster than anything else could have. It made it easier to be clinical, to follow the steps Miss Donna laid out to protect what was mine. Am I happy? Not in a jumping for joy kind of way, but I'm not miserable. I'm content. I'm free. I stood my ground, stuck to the plan, and the consequences for her were exactly what she earned. Natural consequences. The best kind, really. Someone asked me if I felt bad. I told them I felt justified. She gambled, thinking she had a winning hand. She didn't realize I'd already seen her cards and had an ace up my sleeve, the prenup she herself had championed. So yeah, that's the story. No dramatic courtroom showdowns, no screaming matches, well, only from her side. Just the quiet, methodical execution of a well-laid plan and a pre-existing agreement. She started it with a text. I ended it with a signature. And honestly, I sleep pretty damn well these days.